Hi everyone, I'm Natalie Pikonik and welcome back to my channel, Nat Scraps. Thanks for joining me today. Today I've got these really gorgeous photos of my daughter, and being a really new consultant close to my heart, I have been trying to resist buying some of the older stock so that I'm sharing newer stuff with my customers and with you guys. But every time I've seen this Eat, Pray, Love collection, I've thought of these photos and I've thought how cute these photos would look on them. They were on the flash sale about a week ago and I grabbed them while they were on sale, and I thought, nope, I am definitely doing my daughter's photos. Now these photos are several years old. My daughter's now in high school, so she's well and truly older now. But I just absolutely adored these photos of her eating the chocolate cake mixture. And who could resist that really cute die cut of the mixer to go along with them? I'm flicking through the papers here, and as you can see, there's loads of really beautiful papers. I love this floral. So many cute ones. And the next few papers are all cut apart sheets or punch outs, whatever you would like to call them. And there's loads of them. So 2, 3, it must be 4 or 5 sheets of them. Including that mixer. Look at it, so adorable. And some of these are specialty papers that are only, so they're one-sided, they're only in the scrapbooking kit. So there's also some basics, some whites and bits like that. There are instructions, and these are the 3 layouts you can make with the instructions that are included in the kit. Now this kit is still available while I'm recording this. I did check before I finished off editing the video, and it was still available at this time. So you can check out my web store if you would like to grab this kit while it's still around. Now, first thing I'm going to do with this is I am going to go through and pull out things that I think will go with my photos. So I'm just going through, grabbing a few things, checking out. I love those dots go perfectly. Spreading out my photos, thinking how many photos am I going to put on. I know that photo there has really bad shadow on it and it's not a perfect photo, but I still love the look on her face, so I am going to put it in my pages. While I'm going through those papers, I look at these die cuts and I decide that I need to pull them all out and just be familiar with them and get to know what is actually there. So I popped them all out and I cut a lot of this out and sped most of it up, just so that you're not sitting around waiting for hours and hours for this video to end. I wasn't quite sure how they went together until after I'd finished. These are 2 die cut little strips, and on this and the red one that I pulled out first with the dotty on it, I've actually cut those off so that I can get some use out of those little green strips at some stage. I don't throw out my die cut sheets until right to the end, but I do eventually, but I make sure that I'm 100% finished with the kit first. So after having disassembled the whole kit, I have looked and thought, I love this cherry paper, and that's where I'm going to start. So I'm cutting some 4-inch strips, and then I'm going to go into what I call rearrange mode. So I put things down, move them around, rearrange them, move them around again, cut, paste, do a few things. So I will do this constantly for ages, just checking out what I actually want. I'm not a very fast scrapper. I edit out loads and loads of what I'm doing. And I do apologize about now. This first section of film just didn't seem to be very good. It seemed to want to jump and stop, and I have edited it as best I can, but it wasn't the best. I am trying a new camera out at the moment and trying to get my videos looking a little bit more professional. So tweaking settings every day and trying to make it a bit better. Please also excuse my voice. I seem to be really husky this afternoon for some reason. It's really cold here in Victoria. I don't know where you guys are. I'd love to hear where you are from. but it's very cold and near on snowing here in Victoria at the moment. As you can see, I am moving those bits and pieces around. I'm trimming some of my photos down so they become slimmer. And I'm keeping the 6-inch height, but looking at whether I can fit a square block on there. When I was editing the photo, a couple of times I went, that didn't look too bad, but I had moved on and kept shuffling until I'd found what I'd liked. Here I start adding some flowers and little bits, and I still have not quite got my photo layout completely knuckled down, but I'm getting much closer now. The left hand side pretty much stays as is, and I chop up the right side to add to match. So this little word sweet was actually punched out of the middle of the flower bouquet die cut section. I think it's meant to be left over, but I was happy to make use of it. You'll just see now I have grabbed out the Picture My Life cards. So I grabbed them while they were on the flash sale as well to go with my kit. And you'll see I'm flicking through and I decide on 1 or 2 of those to use. I absolutely adore the Picture My Life cards. I love how the sides you can flip over, and they'll be similar design but different colouring and different orientation. So one will be a portrait and one will be a landscape. Here I'm finally realising I want it to go all the way across and finally cut that last piece of the cherry paper into 2-inch strips. I have the Picture My Life card there that I decide to take that little saying out of the middle of it. You make my heart happy. And I'm going to trim that down. So once that's trimmed down, I really am going to get started on doing adding all the little fussy bits. I'm not going to waste those 2 little bits of floral, so I just stuck them in behind the photos, and I liked them so much that I ended up leaving them there. So they remained. Here's where the slightly colour difference on that project or Picture My Life card and the strip, but I'm not too worried because I'm going to kind of hide it behind that sentiment at the top. I didn't think I had 2 of these zip strips, but I did. I don't know why I didn't go looking for the second one, but that Picture My Life card was just sitting there, so I just used that. Once they're in the page protector and in the album, they won't be sitting exactly next to each other anyway. I've decided to mat the photos on the Glacier Blue and trimming that down. I've done that for the 2 right-hand photos. On the left-hand photo, where there's just 1 photo on the page, I've actually mounted it on white and then matted it onto the Glacier, just to give it a little bit more punch, considering it's sitting over there on a page on its own. I just wanted it to stand out just a little bit more. See just a little bit of fuzz on the side of my photo there, so I fixed that up. And now is the fun bit, adding lots and lots of embellishments. So I hadn't quite stuck that zip strip down, I just put it there, so I'm going to stick that one down, and then I'm going to start pulling out my stickers and the die cuts that I have and start making the page my very own. So I did at the very start put out 1 embellishment that I knew I wanted to go with this bowl, and that was that cute little whisk. I had a look on the sticker sheet and I definitely wanted these set of 3 bowls. I thought they were just so adorable. So I've popped them down, and there's these little green banners, and I'm not actually sure which project those banners were for, but I've popped them just under my Sweet Memories title. I'm trying to do a balance of having a little bit of green, a little bit of the blue, and a little bit of red and yellow on each of my sort of clusters. And there's sort of 3 clusters, 3 and a bit with those bowls down the bottom. They do kind of join with the other cluster, but the cluster on the right, my title cluster, and then I have end up with a little cluster on the bowl there. I do have a really bad habit of just moving things around constantly until I'm happy. And I try to cut as much of that out as I can, but I also think it's really important way to see the process that people have, in that you really some people automatically know what to do, where to put things, but I don't. I really have to work my way through it and figure it out bit by bit. So that is my process. I would love it to be a little bit simpler, easier, quicker, but it's what I do. I was really looking for some yellow to go up in that title area. So I picked up that yellow flower. I cut it apart a bit to make it a bit smaller. It was a little bit too big, so I've cut a bit out of the middle and popped it so there's a bit on the top and a bit at the bottom. And it's very in your face at the moment, but I do cover up a little bits and pieces of it, so it's not quite so in your face at the end. The title was really bugging me. It just didn't punch just the way I wanted. And I finally thought I am just going to go over it with a little bit of a black ink so it will stand out beautifully. And I really like that punch of black at the top. And once I'm happy with that, I am going to glue that down. I'm moving on to that right hand cluster, and I'm putting the bowls on, and I have actually magic mounted that little subtitle there on. I didn't like the red flower sticking out behind the bowls, so that's why I've stuck a little leaf there. And then the banner bits that I had sort of stuck in there wasn't quite right, so I am going to move them over, and then eventually a little bit later on I get rid of them completely. Again, that's my process. So adding a little heart up the top there, and I'm still kind of thinking I need a little bit of punch kind of in that corner, and I keep thinking about it, and I'll come back and eventually I will add another bit of yellow in that corner. Here I'm thinking I'm really close to finished. I'm adding a few little hearts, which normally to me would indicate that I'm very close to the end, but I wasn't. Oh, yes, there was a little sticker up there that I popped up there earlier. I must have cut that out of the footage, and I moved that. I'm probably going to move it again in a second, I think. Yep, there we go, and move it out. I really like the little cluster that I do end up with on that bowl. I really like how it looks in the end. Just adding 1 or 2 more little pieces in there. Now, I love these cherries, and I was going to pop them on somewhere, and I kept moving. Where am I going to put them? Where am I going to put them? And I like them hanging down there, and that's when I have to swap out that banner that I've stuck and moved 3 times and pop the cherries down, and I was really happy with that. Then I'm going to pop that punchy yellow, because as I was saying before, I wanted a little punch of yellow in that corner as well, and that little yellow circle ended up just doing a little bit of hand stitching around the outside of it. So before, where I thought I was very close to the end and I wasn't quite, this time I am. I'm just going to go in, add a few of these gorgeous little chip or wooden pieces that are in the kit. They are adorable. and that they are just so sweet. They've got little engravings on them in places, and also add a couple of more little punches of black. So just off camera, I had painted some hearts black, and now I'm just drawing a few tiny little hearts on around the page, and just to give some slight ones. I did try to draw around that red heart and I made a mess of it, so I turned it into a black heart. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and playing along. I have a second layout that I have done with the other photos from this, and then I will try to finish off the whole kit. Please like and subscribe. Check out the description for my web store and other links to my Facebook and such. And once again, thank you so much. See you later, guys. Bye. Oh, good, you're still here. I've just got a sneak peek for you for the second layout. So make sure that you're getting notifications so that you can see this one. Bye.